Welcome to the Freediving Lectures, designed for anyone who wants to improve their freediving in a calm and structured way. In today's video, I will introduce to you the main topics of the technique in no-fins freediving. As in all the videos, we will go into great detail and cover everything step by step. Hi, I'm Stefano Scaramuzza, freediving and swimming coach. Together with my wife Bianca Sanyang, we founded the Freediving and Yoga School Infinite Love. As a former competitive breaststroke swimmer and Swiss national record holder in constant weight no fins, I've specialized in teaching freediving without fins. In these lectures, I will share my professional insights in freediving, covering topics like technique, mindset, and training. These lectures are free and open to everyone. The material is based on my experience in swimming, freediving, and teaching, and it reflects also the current knowledge in these two sports. You can use these videos as a reference for your own training, for teaching, or simply to satisfy your curiosity. But remember that this is just a video and it cannot replace a coach. Only a coach can see what you need in the moment to progress efficiently and safely. And of course, this also depends on your experience, your goals, your fitness level, and so on. In the end of the video, I will talk more about coaching opportunities for you. Today's video is the first in a series of videos where we talk only about the no-fins technique. I will introduce to you to the 4 pillars of no-fins freediving. That is number 1, the body position, number 2, the arm stroke, number 3, the leg kick, and number 4, the timing, or as you can also call it, the coordination. I will introduce to you why it is important to practice technique, and also I will show you the main training principles for technique. After that, there will be 4 more videos, each of them covering one of the pillars that I mentioned before. So there will be one video only about body position, one video about arm stroke, one video about the leg kick, and one video about the timing. You will be able to apply the same principles for CNF, so constant weight no fins, but also DNF, so dynamic no fins. Before I tell you why the technique in no fins freediving is so important, I would like to mention that freediving without fins can basically be described as swimming underwater, right? So we can borrow a lot of knowledge from the swimming world and apply it to the freediving world. Actually, we should do that because the knowledge in swimming, especially in Olympic swimming, high-level swimming, is very developed. So we can borrow a lot of knowledge and apply it to freediving. Of course, we cannot copy it one-to-one. We need to make some adaptations. What type of adaptations? I will show you in the individual videos after this one. So why is the technique so important? It is important in no-fins diving specifically because there is not much room for error. Even small mistakes can have a big negative impact on your dive. Or, to put it in a more positive light, even small and simple corrections in your technique can give you a huge improvement in your diving. Also, a good technique will make your dive more enjoyable because it's less tiring. So if you're training for a competition on the line, in the pool, or adventure diving without line, having a good technique will make all those dives more enjoyable. Working on your technique also helps you to raise your body awareness. Because no fins involves all our body, so all our body parts are involved, it's a full body activity, you will gain this awareness. And you will see this will also translate to the other disciplines, like for example bifins or free immersion. A good technique is fundamental in your freediving, and by the way, that's true for all the disciplines, because once it's set, you have more capacity to focus on other things, such as your relaxation, your equalization, or also your dive strategy. So for example, to set up a clean, proper dive strategy in your no-fins dive, you would have to have full control over all the parameters, such as the glide phase, like how long do you glide, can you vary it, also how intense do you push or kick. So once you have control over all those parameters, you can set your dive strategy. I will also make a video about how to set a dive strategy in FINS later. So what is the best way to train your technique? The best way is to first spend a lot of time in the pool, swimming on the surface and breathing through the snorkel. We will call this surface swimming from now on, just to not mix it up with pool dynamic. There are, of course, a lot of exercises that we can also do while diving on the line. However, in surface swimming, we don't have all the limitations that come with depth or breath hold. That means that we can spend our time much more efficiently. So we can repeat the same exercise 100 times, or we can isolate problems and work on them with very specific drills. We also don't need a big setup, and we can practice basically anywhere where there is water. That can be in a lake, in the pool, in the sea. Even during snorkeling or playing in the water, you can always do some of those exercises that you will learn. By spending much time in the water, you will also improve your feel for the water. The feel for the water is extremely important in freediving and also in swimming. The feel for water is basically all micro adjustments that you do intuitively with your body to move efficiently in the water. It's like an intuition on how to move or how to place yourself in the water. For example, if you look at a new swimmer, they might do everything correctly, but the movements still look a bit robotic or a bit mechanically. However, if you look at the more experienced swimmer with a much more developed feel for the water, you might see that they move much more elegantly, much more smoothly, and every movement and timing seems to be just on the sweet spot. This intuition you can only build over time with a lot of practice. Actually, a great way to develop your feel for water is to swim without wetsuit. Like this, you have direct contact with the water, and you will feel if you're actually grabbing the water and pushing it, or if it just slips through your hands. You will also develop a feel for the speed in the water, because you feel the water gliding on your skin, and you can sense, am I fast, am I slow? This is a reason why the athletes that I work with, I let them swim without wetsuit during the surface swimming sessions. I also recommend to always aim for perfect swimming technique during the surface swimming, even if it might not optimize your relaxation in the moment. So for example, if you practice the streamline position, go for the perfect streamline position, which includes quite a lot of tension in the body. Later in your dive, you will approach it in a more relaxed way. This follows kind of the train hard, dive easy principle. We do this because learning the textbook swimming technique will give us a much deeper understanding of the movements, which later will also give us much more freedom when we need to make the adaptations for our diving. These adaptations will of course depend on the discipline, so if it's CNF or DNF, it will depend on what our body allows and on our personal diving strategies. If we skip learning the textbook technique and go too soon to a personal style, we might risk to take a shortcut that then later will be much harder and take much more effort to undo. Of course, there is no one size fits all. Even if you look at Olympic swimmers, for example, they all have like a slightly different technique, but they all started from the same basics. So start from the basic textbook technique, and later the personal adaptations, they will come naturally. As I mentioned briefly in the intro, the technique in FINS can be divided in 4 different pillars. The first pillar is the body position. That's how we lie in the water and also how we glide. Number 2 is the arm stroke. So that's the movement we do with our arms. Number 3 are the leg kick. So the movement we do with our legs. And number 4 is the timing. So how do we combine kick, arm stroke, and gliding? I made a video for each of those topics, and in each video we will first go through all the details, then I will show you some common corrections that I give to athletes that I work with. Then we will look at some deeper insights, and in the end I will show you some in-water and dryland exercises that you can do by yourself. So if you want to continue, the next video will be about the body position, which is the foundation for everything that will follow. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in personal coaching, feel free to contact us through the Infinite Love website. We offer in-person and online coaching for deep divers and also for new divers. In both cases, we will work out a specific training plan that fits your goals and includes also exercises for your needs. Alright, see you in the next video.